Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Etta and nice to meet you all. Okay, so we're just gonna jump right into this video. This is a book haul and I'm super duper excited because, like, what? The first book, well, first off, we're going to start with library books and then we'll go on to the books that I bought. From the library, I got these two books. The first one is called More Than You'll Ever Know, and the second one is called The Last Party. So More Than You'll Ever Know by Gutierrez. I just finished this not too long ago, and okay, on Goodreads I gave it 4.2 stars, and no, I'm going to give it 4.2 stars, but on Goodreads I gave it 4 stars because you can either give it like a full star or a half star, and I actually have it pulled up. Overall it's a 3.74, but I would give it a 4.2. And in this book, let me see if I can read a little bit. Let's read what's online instead. It was a story that Cassie Bowman couldn't resist. Lori Rivera loved 2 men until one of them shot the other. Lori Rivera was married to 2 men at once until a baking hot day in 1986, one of them found out and shot the other. It's not the story that fascinates Cassie Bowman. Carrying the weight of her own family tragedy, true crime writer Cassie wants to know more about the mysterious woman at the heart of it all, Lori. How did one woman fall in love with 2 different men? How did she balance the love and the lies? To her surprise, Cassie finds out that Lori is willing to talk, to finally tell her heartbreaking story about how a dance became an affair, how a marriage became a murder. As the 2 women grow closer, Cassie finds she can't help but confess her own darkest secrets. But when she slowly starts to realize that there might be more to the night of the murder than anyone has realized, can either woman face up to the thing they've been hiding from, the truth? So I read the synopsis. Is that how you say it? Synopsis? Yeah, I read it from Goodreads because it's much better than in the book. Like, it doesn't... Actually, it's quite similar, but whatever. Anyway, that's what the book is about. So you have this woman from Laredo, Texas. She is married with twin boys. And then in Mexico, is it in Mexico? Yeah. She meets this guy, gets married to that guy, and just has this secret double life that nobody knows about until her husband finds out and then kills the guy. So now this writer wants to know more about, like, she wants to know more about Lori, like what made her do this, how did she end up in this situation. So she comes up with this plan to write a book with her, and she reaches out to her and she agrees eventually, and then they start writing the book, and it turns out there's more to the murder that, you know, than people know. But yeah, that's basically what the book is about. It's a really interesting book. I don't know, I really liked it. Wait, hold on, let's go back to Gutierrez real quick. I think for each book I just want to read about the author. So Gutierrez has an MFA from Texas University. Her writing has appeared in Time, Harper's Bazaar, Washington Post, and she was born and raised in Laredo, Texas, lives in San Antonio with her husband and 2 children. This is her first novel. Boom. Okay, so this is her first novel, and I think she did a pretty good job for her first novel. And I will say, if you're interested in reading this story, it's really, really good, but it's a little slow. So if you don't have patience, well, I don't know what to tell you. But don't give up. If you're reading this and you want to just stop, don't give up. Because I kind of felt that way too. I was just like, oh my god, like, But, you know, eventually, you know, there was some good parts that kept me, you know, into the book. There's about like 435 pages in here. So, yeah, 435 pages. So back to this book. This is The Last Party by Clare Mackintosh. And Clare Mackintosh, let's read about her. She is a multi-award winning author of 5 Sunday Times bestselling novels, translated into 40 languages. Cool beans. Now, in this book, it says, on New Year's Eve, Riz Lloyd has a house full of guests. His vacation homes on Mirror Lake are a success, and he generously invited the village to drink champagne with their wealthy new neighbors. But by midnight, Riz will be floating dead in the freezing waters of the lake. On New Year's Day, Fionn Morgan has a village full of suspects. The tiny community is her home, so the suspects are her neighbors, friends, and family. And Fionn has her own secrets to protect. Huh? With the lie uncovered at every turn, soon the question isn't who wanted Riz dead, but who finally killed him. In a village with this many secrets, murder is just the beginning. So, to be real with you guys, I should have been done with this book in like 3 days max, but you know, when I read it at night, I start to fall asleep. When I read it during the day, I get caught up in other things. So anyway, I'm on page 70, and in this book, there's about 420 something pages. And yeah, so far so good. I mean, that's, oh wait, let me give you guys a little ASMR. Yeah, so I'm really feeling this book so far. I'll definitely read it later on tonight. Now let's move on to the books that I purchased. And disclaimer, I am trying to get into reading more nonfiction because I read a lot of fiction novels, and you know, it's good to read nonfiction because it's y'all making noise for me. It's good to read nonfiction because it's facts. Like, you know, wouldn't you want to educate yourself or learn new things about people and stuff like that? So anyway, y'all, first book on the list is Life as a Hyphen by Ismail D. Badjie. So a little bit about the author. Ismail Badjie is a Gambian-born U.S. citizen who spent his early childhood in Belgium and New York. As the son of a Gambian diplomat, he returned to live in the Gambia from the age of 7 to 17 before pursuing a professional career as a U.S. trained pharmacist and healthcare entrepreneur. Ismail is committed to bridging the gap in healthcare access on the African continent through his company Innovarx Global Health in Africa. He is a proud alumnus of HBCU, Tennessee State University, and Purdue University. Okay, cool. So awesome. It's a lot to read. All right, now about the book, it's about 150 some pages, and Ismail Badjie's collection of essays and short stories offers a deeply personal exploration of his life experience as a man straddling two worlds, Africa and USA. Ismail navigates the complexities of his dual identity with wit, candor, and a relentless pursuit of self-discovery. He encourages readers to step outside their comfort zones, challenge deeply ingrained beliefs, and explore the uncharted territories of their own inner worlds. Drawing on his life experiences, Ismail shares valuable lessons that offer a deep insight into his personal journey into fatherhood, the healing of his inner child, confronting his patriarchal upbringing. Did I say that right? Patriarchal? Yeah. Upbringing and grappling with the complexities of his culture. Yeah, so I'm going to stop right there. Sounds interesting. Yes, it's a nonfiction, so I'm definitely here for it. And period. I think I should read this book after Last Party because it's really short. And yeah, it's written by a Gambian, so that's lit also, period. Now, next book is Billion Dollar Whale by Tom Wright and Bradley Hope. And this is a nonfiction as well. They don't have anything about the authors. Oh yeah, they do. They said Tom Wright and Bradley Hope were finalists for the Pulitzer Prize in International Reporting and winners of Loeb, is that how you say it? Award for the coverage of, okay, cool beans. Cool. So anyway, this book is a true crime, and I really did want to get into reading some true crime, but white collar crime, not like slashing, murder, gory stuff like that. This is about the scammers, okay? So yeah, so that's why I want to read this. All right, it says the dust had yet to settle on the global financial crisis in 2009 when an unlikely Wharton grad was setting in motion a fraud of unprecedented gall and magnitude, one that would come to symbolize the next great threat to the global financial system. And then on the book it says, over the course of a decade, Joe Lowe siphoned billions from an investment fund seemingly under the noses of financial watchdogs. He used the money to purchase luxury real estate, throw champagne-drenched parties with celebrities such as Leonardo DiCaprio and Paris Hilton, and even finance Hollywood films such as The Wolf of Wall Street. As his scheme finally unraveled, with his yacht and private jet seized, Lo disappeared. So, yeah, bro, it's about a scammer, alright? There's that. Now, next book is Anansi's Gold by Yepoka Yeebo. And it says, the man who looted the West, outfoxed Washington, and swindled the world. Ooh, it sounds juicy. It sounds crazy. It sounds like an adventure. So, I'm looking forward to that. Where do we want to read from? Okay. So, it says, the astounding, never-before-told story of how an audacious Ghanaian con artist pulled off one of the 20th century's longest-running and most spectacular frauds. When Ghana won its independence from Britain in 1957, it instantly became a target for homegrown opportunists and rapacious Western interests determined to snatch any assets that colonialism hadn't already stripped. A CIA-funded military junta ousted the new nation's inspiring president, Kwame Nkrumah, is that how you say it? Then falsely accused him of hiding the country's gold overseas. Into this big lie stepped one of history's most charismatic scammers, a con man to rival the trickster god Anansi. Born into poverty in Ghana and trained in the United States, John Akablemiza declared himself custodian of an alleged Nkrumah trust fund worth billions. You too could claim a piece, if only you would invest in Miza's fictitious efforts to release the equally fictitious fund. Over the 1970s and 80s, he and his accomplices, including Ghanaian state officials and Nixon's former attorney general, scammed hundreds of millions of dollars out of thousands of believers. Girl, that's messy. Miza lived in luxury, deceiving Philadelphia lawyers, London financiers, and Seoul businessmen alike, all while eluding his FBI pursuers. American prosecutors called his scam one of the most fascinating and lucrative in modern history. So, that's crazy, y'all. Is that him? Yep, that's him. That's our guy right there. Scamming. Now, I'm pretty sure that is all for nonfiction. And let's dive right into fiction. Now, this book is called Verity by Colleen Hoover. And I've never read a Colleen Hoover book, but I know she's very popular. I hear a lot about her books. I see it everywhere. But this one caught my eye because I read the synopsis and it sounded really interesting. So it says, Loan Ashley is a struggling writer on the brink of financial ruin when she accepts the job offer of a lifetime. Jeremy Crawford, husband of best-selling author Verity Crawford, has hired Lowen to complete the remaining books in a successful series his injured wife is unable to finish. Lowen arrives at the Crawford home, ready to sort through years of Verity's notes and outlines, hoping to find enough material to get her started. What Lowen doesn't expect to uncover in the chaotic... I'll wait. Can I be for real? What Lowen doesn't expect to uncover in the chaotic office is an unfinished autobiography Verity never intended for anyone to read. Page after page of bone-chilling admissions, including Verity's recollection of the night her family was forever altered. Wow. Lowen decides to keep the manuscript hidden from Jeremy, knowing its contents could devastate the already grieving father. But as Lowen's feelings for Jeremy begin to intensify, ma'am, that's somebody's husband. She recognizes all ways she could benefit if he were to read his wife's words. After all, no matter how devoted Jeremy is to his injured wife, a truth this horrifying would make it impossible for him to continue loving her. A standalone romantic thriller from #1 New York Times bestselling author Colleen Hoover. Right. So that sounds really intriguing, I'm not gonna lie, because I am a thriller girl. I'm not a romance girly. Not really. Nah. So the fact that it's a thriller, it's a romantic thriller, so I'm kind of like, you know. But yeah, I really, no, maybe I should read this one next. This one sounds interesting though, because it's like, what is this girl hiding? Like, what did the writer find in those manuscripts? Is she guilty of something? Did she kill somebody? Like, that's what I want to know. Verity, what you do, Verity? Next book is The Good Lie by A.R. Torre, or Torre. How many pages is Verity? I mean, it's about 320. And The Good Lie, about 240 pages. So it says, they're looking for the truth, they're hiding it too. Psychiatrist Dr. Gwen Moore is an expert on killers. She spent a decade treating California's most depraved predators and unlocking their motives. Predators much like the notorious Bloody Heart serial killer, whose latest teenage victim escaped and then identified local high school teacher Randall Thompson as his captor. The case against Thompson as the Bloody Heart killer is damning and closed, as far as Gwen and the media are concerned, if not for one new development. Defense attorney Robert Cavan is a still traumatized father whose own son fell prey to the BH killer. Convinced of Thompson's innocence, he steps in to represent him. Now Robert wants Gwen to interview the accused, create a psych profile of the killer and his victims, and help clear his client's name. As Gwen and Robert grow closer and she dives deeper into the investigation, grave questions arise. So does Gwen's suspicion that Robert is hiding something and that he might not be the only one with the secret. You know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like, what's his name? Robert is the killer, but his son was a victim to the killer. So it's just like, yeah? Good night. Yeah, so to me, it sounds like Robert is the killer, but why would he be the killer if his son was the victim? Anyway, I don't know. It seems like he's hiding something, you guys. So, The Good Lie. The secrets between them are only getting darker. The Good Lie. 4.16 stars. Wow, okay. And that's out of 86,000 plus reviews. So, that's dope. The next book. Which one? Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. Now this one is a sci-fi. Oh my gosh, like I love watching sci-fi shows, and why not read a sci-fi book? I think I've only read like 3 sci-fi books. Yeah, but anyway, this is a sci-fi novel. And okay, Entertainment Weekly says a mind-blowing sci-fi suspense love story mashup. Interesting. New York Times bestseller. Now, are you happy with your life? Those are the last words Jason Dessen hears before the kidnapper knocks him unconscious. Before he awakens to find himself strapped to a gurney surrounded by strangers in hazmat suits. Before a man he's never met smiles down at him and says, "Welcome back, my friend." In this world he's woken up to, Jason's life is not the one he knows. His wife is not his wife, his son was never born, and Jason is not an ordinary college professor, but a celebrated genius who has achieved something remarkable, something impossible. Is it this life or the other that's the dream? And even if the home he remembers is real, how will Jason make it back to the family he loves? From the author of the best-selling... No! Wait, from the author of the best-selling Wayward Pines trilogy? Bro, I love Wayward Pines! Oh my gosh, I didn't even know Wayward Pines was a book. I don't know if you guys watched this show before, but it's called Wayward Pines. And I think I need to go back and watch it. I'm going to watch it later tonight. Actually, it's already tonight, so I'm going to watch it tonight. Wow, that's crazy. I need to look that up. Dark Matter is a mind-bending thriller about choices, paths not taken, and how far we'll go to claim the lives we dream of. That is mad. It's going to be a mad thing. You get... How many pages? Ooh, I like how they number 354 pages? Oh, no. I mean, that's the Q&A. It's about 340 pages. Guys, this sounds so dope. Because it's like, imagine, you get kidnapped, you're knocked unconscious, you see this guy talking about, hey, what's up, my friend? Like, my G, I don't know you, fam. I don't know you from nowhere. I don't know you from Adam and Eve. But yeah, I want to get into that real bad. Next book. So this one is Housemaid by Freida McFadden. Now, I've also been seeing this book everywhere, and it's also a series. Yes. So this is book 1 out of the series. From behind closed doors, she sees everything. It's giving Killer Maid. New York Times bestseller. Every day, I clean the Winchesters' beautiful house top to bottom. I pick up their daughter from school, and I cook a delicious meal for the whole family before heading up to eat alone in my tiny room on the top floor. I try to ignore how Nina makes a mess just to watch me clean it up. That's wrong. How she tells strange lies about her own daughter, and how her husband, Andrew, seems more broken every day. But as I look into Andrew's handsome brown eyes, watch yourself, Missy, so full of pain, it's hard not to imagine what it would be like to live Nina's life. The walk-in closet, the fancy car, the perfect husband. Girl, that sounds like evil eye. That's what it sounds like. And she needs to stop running her mouth. I try on one of Nina's pristine white dresses once, you see? Because why are you trying on my clothes? We're not friends. You're my employee. What are you doing? Just to see what it's like. But she soon finds out. And by the time I realize my attic bedroom door only locks from the outside, it's far too late. But I reassure myself, the Winchesters don't know who I really am. They don't know what I'm capable of. Oh, okay, this is my type of book right here. This is my type of book. Psychological suspense. Yes, give me all of that. Give me all of that. I'm here for it. Let me see. 4.34 stars, 600,000 ratings. Yeah, this is going to be a good one. And obviously, you know, everyone has their opinions. You know, what I might like someone else won't, and what someone likes I might not. But I have a good feeling about this book. And usually when I have a good feeling about a book, I'm right. Only that one time. But anyway. Okay, so this next book is called The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Now, this book is dark academia. That is also a fave of mine. I definitely do like dark academia. It's just a vibe, you know? And, ooh, Village Voice says an accomplished psychological thriller. Absolutely chilling. Tartt has a stunning command of the lyrical. Oh my gosh. Like, I like it already. So it says, let me see what it says on Goodreads. 4.17 rating, 650,000 ratings. Cool. Under the influence of their charismatic classics professor, a group of clever, eccentric misfits at an elite New England college discover a way of thinking and living that is a world away from the humdrum existence of their contemporaries. But when they go beyond the boundaries of normal morality, they slip gradually from obsession to corruption and betrayal, and at last inexorably into evil. That sounds kind of scary. Oh my gosh, wait. It says first published in 1992. I thought this was like a new book. But you know what? It doesn't even matter. Ooh, fiction literature. It doesn't matter like when a book was made, you know. That's the good thing about books. Like, you can read books from any time, any period, you know. Like, look, in high school, we read Shakespeare. We read Huckleberry Finn. This camera has a recording limit, so it just cut off. What was I saying? Yeah, we read Huckleberry Finn. We read, what did I read? Warriors Don't Cry. But that was in middle school. I was in advanced reading in middle school, so we read books that you would typically read in high school. We also read a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, man, Dark Academia. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It sounds really nice. Okay, next book. Ooh, okay, this one I am probably the most excited for. It's called Out There Screaming. Edited by Jordan Peele, written by multiple black writers. So, this is an anthology of new black horror. And yeah, you know what? I feel like this book, the title of this book is so black because it's like, why is it called Out There Screaming? Like, imagine you're like, oh, where John at? Oh, he out there screaming. Like, he just out there screaming. That's so black to me. Like, anyway, okay. All right, so the visionary writer and director of Get Out, Us, and Nope creates this groundbreaking anthology of all new stories of black horror, exploring not only the terrors of the supernatural, but the chilling reality of injustice that haunts our nation. Damn, that's real. That's so real. A cop begins seeing huge blinking eyes where the headlights of cars should be that tell him who to pull over. Two freedom riders take a bus ride that leaves them stranded on a lonely road in Alabama where several unsettling somethings await them. That sounds scary. A young girl dives into the depths of the earth in search of the demon that killed her parents. These are just a few of the worlds of Out There Screaming, Jordan Peele's anthology of all new horror stories by black writers. Wow. Featuring an introduction by Peele. And alright, so that's pretty much it. It's an anthology. It features stories by Aaron E. Adams, Violet Allen, Leslie Neka Arima, Maurice Brodus, Chesia Burke, P. Jelly Clark, Ezra Clayton Daniels. I'm not reading all that. P. Jelly Clark, I think he has a book that I want to read. But yes, bro, it's spooky season. So, you know, I got to read Out There Screaming. Yeah, you know, no, I want to read this one next. Oh my gosh. You guys need to tell me, like, which book do I need to read? Let me know. Because there's just so many interesting books. Alright, next book is... Wait. Out There Screaming. What's the rate? Oh, 4. And it has about 500 ratings, 250 reviews. And it just came out, so, like, literally August. No, not August. It came out October 3rd. So it's fairly new. Okay, so this next book is called Black River Orchard. Black River Orchard. Oh my gosh, tongue twister, by Chuck Wendig. He is the New York Times bestselling author of the Book of Accidents. Okay, that's cool. Alright, so this is the synopsis. A small town is transformed when 7 strange trees begin bearing magical apples in this new masterpiece of horror from the best-selling author of Wanderers and Book of Accidents. It's autumn in the town of Harrow, but something besides the season is changing there. Because in that town there is an orchard, and in that orchard 7 most unusual trees. And from those trees grows a new sort of apple. Strange, beautiful, with skin so red it's nearly black. Take a bite of one of these apples and you will desire only to devour another and another, and you will become stronger, more vital, more yourself you will believe. But then your appetite for the apples and their peculiar gifts will keep growing and become darker. This is what happens when the townsfolk discover the secret of the orchard. Soon it seems that everyone is consumed by an obsession with the magic of the apples. And what's the harm if it's making them all happier, more confident, more powerful? Even if something else is buried in the orchard besides the seeds of these extraordinary trees, a bloody history whose roots reach back to the very origins of this town. But now the leaves are falling, the days grow darker. It's harvest time, and the town will soon reap what it has sown. So, girl, I don't know what it's about, but interesting. But I definitely do want to find out what are these apples doing to these people? What happens when they eat them? What happens when they stop eating them? Like, what's gonna happen? That's all I want to know. And this is a very thick book, about 600 pages, 600 plus pages. So yeah, I can't wait to get into that. Okay, two more books. So next book, I don't know how to say this, is Clytemnestra by Costanza Casati. So Clytemnestra. Wait. Clytemnestra. A novel by Costanza Casati. Okay. A little bit about the author. She was born in Texas in 1995. Oh, she's so young. Grew up in a village in northern Italy and lived in the UK for 5 years. Before moving to London, she attended a classical liceo in Italy where she studied ancient Greek and ancient Greek literature for 5 years. Hence this book. Costanza is a graduate of the prestigious Warwick Writing MA program where she earned a distinction and currently works as a freelance journalist and screenwriter. Ooh. Clytemnestra is her debut novel. Okay, debut novel. So that's dope. I'm very excited to read that. It has decent ratings. It has 11,000 plus ratings on Goodreads and is rated 4.24 average. So that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to read it. This is a thick book too. Guys, I really want to write a book too, but I don't know what about. About 430 plus pages. So it says, Monarch, Mother, Murderer, Magnificent. You are born to a king, but you marry a tyrant. You stand by helplessly as he sacrifices your child to placate the gods. You watch him wage war on a foreign shore, and you comfort yourself with violent thoughts of your own. Because this was not the first offense against you, this was not the life you ever deserved. And this will not be your undoing. Slowly you plot. Wow. When your husband returns in triumph, you become a woman with a choice. Acceptance or vengeance. Infamy follows both. So you bide your time and force the gods' hands in the game of retribution. For you understood something long ago that others never did. If power isn't given to you, you have to take it for yourself. A blazing novel set in the world of ancient Greece and told through the eyes of its most notorious heroine. This is a thrilling tale of power and prophecies, of hatred, of love, and of an unforgettable queen who fiercely dealt out death to those who wronged her. Cool. So yeah, man. This is a fantasy. I'm definitely not a fantasy girly. As I said earlier, mystery, thriller, horror, but mostly thriller. Psychological thrillers to be exact. That's my niche, like that's my thing, okay? So fantasy, not into fantasy that much, but I really am trying to get into it. I'm really trying to like broaden my palette here, you know? I need to be more open to reading new things, reading different types of genres and stuff like that. Okay, last book. Oh yeah, this is the last book. Okay. It's called Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. So, I'm pretty sure this is a horror. Oh, okay. So here are some quotes from people who read the book. Now, this is from the author of More Than You'll Ever Know, the book that I have by Kitty Gutierrez. She says, the sharp-toothed answer to every fairy tale that warns girls to stay out of the woods. Because what if we like what we find? One of the most unforgettable love stories I've ever read, just as a thriller that surprises at every turn. That's interesting. So this is a love story. Why is everything a love story, but also a thriller? That's interesting. Mary Kubica from New York Times says, Winstead shows her virtuosity in this dark, eerie, and completely enchanting book about friendship, love, and vengeance. Okay, so let's get into what this book is about. It says, a killer haunts a small southern town and two outcasts, the preacher's daughter and the boy from the wrong side of the tracks. Hold the key to uncovering the truth. For fans of Verity, that's the book that I have, and A Flicker in the Dark, Midnight is the Darkest Hour is a twisted tale of murder, obsessive love, and the beastly urges that lie dormant within us all. Speak for yourself, Buki. Even the God-fearing folk of Bottom Springs, Louisiana. In her small hometown, librarian Ruth Cornier has always felt like an outsider, even as her beloved father rains fire and brimstone warnings from the pulpit at Holy Fire Baptist. Unfortunately for Ruth, the only things the townspeople fear more than God and the devil are the myths that haunt the area, like the story of the Low Man, a vampiric figure said to steal into sinners' bedrooms and kill them on moonless nights. When a skull is found deep in the swamp next to mysterious carved symbols, Bottom Springs is thrown into an uproar, and Ruth realizes only she and Everett, an old friend from a dark past, have the power to comb the town's secret underbelly in search of the true evil. Okay. A dark and powerful novel, like fans have come to anticipate from Ashley Winstead, Midnight is the Darkest Hour, is an examination of the ways that we expect love, religion, and stories to save us, the lengths we have to go to in order to take back power, and the monstrous work of being a girl in this world. Cool. So this is the last book. To be real with you guys, I can't wait to read all these books. But let me be realistic. I don't expect myself to read all these books by the end of the year. I'm not saying it's not possible. It is definitely possible. But knowing me, I'm not going to read these books by the end of 2023. So I might even finish reading. It depends how dedicated I am to it and like how much time I have and how many books I buy. So I don't think I should be buying any more books after this. But yeah, y'all, thank you guys for watching this somewhat, should I call it a massive book haul? It's a pretty, how many books is it, like 12? Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.